Afternoon, everyone. We are so thankful that you made the effort to be out to this sensitization meeting of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Intelligent Bus Management and Monitoring System project. The CCTV phase of the project is well on its way to completion. So now we are into the e-bus phase, and we expect that this phase will be as successful as the CCTV one. I know many of you would have observed that we have cameras installed throughout the length and breadth of the country. So now we are here to engage our minibus drivers and owners. Before I call Station Sergeant Panel Brown to bring some brief remarks, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Director of the Information Technology Services Division, Mrs. Jacinta Fergus. We also have with us our Deputy Director, Ms. Jacqueline Crease of the Information Technology Services Division. And we have some officers in our midst from the Traffic Department. And we will call now Station Sergeant to bring brief remarks. Could we welcome him, please?
Let me adapt the protocol that has been established. And welcome everyone here. I know that this meeting here this afternoon is about the omnibus drivers, operators, owners. But this effort was collaborated by the Ministry of Finance, Economic Planning, Development and Technology, Ministry of Transport, Urban Development and Local Government, not the police. So the police play a small role, minute, in this. And if you're a biblical person, you will know the laws of the lands were drawn from the laws of the Bible. So while the Ministry of Economics and Finance and Transport and Works were ordained by Almighty, the Ministry of Police, National Security was ordained by the Ministry by Almighty too. So we are grateful to be represented here this afternoon. And just a little on the disappointment side that more omnibus drivers, operators, and owners are not here. But I want to assure you that this operation is not about the police. It is about you, the operators, and your well-loved customers. And I want to encourage those of you who are here this afternoon, if you really love yourself and your customer, you have to enhance your service. True. And the ministries have provided this avenue for you to enhance the service you render to your customers. True. I believe as operators, owners, you are well in to something of a kind. This is something that I believe the ministries have you at heart, and they have sat down and they have seen where they can enhance the service you provided for your customer. So they are in the process of enhancing such service, and all you have to do is to provide yourself. You understand? So what I want, the few persons who are here this afternoon, and I make note that the Vice President of Vintas, the Omnibus Association, is here. And I am sorry that you doesn't have a recorder. But I believe if you liaise with the persons from the ministries, they will provide you with the minutes so that you can go back to your organization and discuss whatever is said here this afternoon. As I said before, the police have just a small role to play, just to maintain law and order. We have nothing to do with your system that you are going to enhance, implement. But I will advise you to be on the safe side. We are all a human being, we all make mistakes sometimes. And as operators, I believe sometimes with the extra urge to make an extra dollar, you will want to do an extra something. Do not put yourself and other person's life at risk. it doesn't want it for the dollar that you make. Because sometimes you have to spend more than the dollar that you earn to do healthcare. So I am advising you guys to take extra caution when rendering this service to your loved customers. Once again, I want you to disseminate this information to your fellow brothers, owners and operators of Omnibus. On behalf of the law enforcement agency, I want to say thank you for inviting us here. David, I see you smiling. I want to say thank you for inviting us here to just sit in to hear what are the contents that this meeting will bring forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Station Sergeant Panel Brown. And in my introductions, I omitted members of the project team that are here. So we also have on board Mr. David Fu from ICDF. He's a project manager. And we have Mrs. Donette O'Neill and myself, Mrs. Desiree Armstrong. We are project coordinators. As Station Sergeant Brown said, this project is of interest to minibus drivers, owners, operators. This is for your benefit. There are no drawbacks to this project. There are only benefits. So we would like you to listen attentively as we outline exactly what the project is about and how it can benefit you. So I would now call on Mrs. Donette O'Neill, one of the project coordinators, to make a presentation at this time.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Armstrong. Good afternoon, everyone. And I'll also adapt the protocol that has already been established. Now, as we keep on saying, this is sensitization to bring you up to speed on this project that is going to be implemented. We are at the initial phases right now, and we are sensitizing, informing everyone what it is going to be about. Okay, now it's part of a larger scope, a larger project, and it's called the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Bus Management and Monitoring System Project. As my colleague would have already said, the CCTV part has already been implemented and is functioning at the moment. Hence, the e-bus part of this project is going to begin. Now, this is smart bus real-time information that would be relayed to the clients. Now, the vision of this project from the government's point of view is that St. Vincent would become the first country operating a smart traffic system within the Caribbean. The first country will be adapting this kind of system and this kind of technology. Now, there are some components of the project that will be affecting you. Okay, now the components would be a TCU device with GPS and 4G LTE functionality. This is a device that is expected to be installed on your bus. And also there's a bus stop, a digital bus stop that will display the arrival time of each bus on an e-paper screen. The citizens and the passengers can know the exact time of arrival of the bus. Okay, so there are going to be about 40 of these bus stops around the bus stops along the coast of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Windward, Leeward, and Kingston. Yes, along the highways. And the other component would be an app or a website of which the customers can use to see when is the expected arrival time of the bus. They would be able to see the bus route and the arrival time. Now, because of this app or this website, it's going to make it easier for the passengers to arrive at the bus stop a few minutes earlier, and this would avoid them waiting for many hours, not hours, but for a long period of time. Yes, sometimes hours, because it's not easy. Sometimes the buses sometimes turn back a bit higher up and they're there waiting, wondering when the bus is going to arrive. So it's really going to assist them. This app is going to assist them. So the main components is this TCU with the GPS for the van drivers and the bus stops, which the government will be installing in different areas, and the website or the app that the customers can use. So this project involves minibus drivers, the citizens or passengers of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the government. Now, the government did this project to assist the citizens. One of the government main role is to enhance the life of its citizens, right? This way of enhancing it is making their life more convenient. The first phase was making their life more secure. This phase is making their life more convenience in the transportation system. Now, this monitor that's going to be placed inside of the vans is 7-inch, and it's a touch screen, and each van driver would have their own login to log into the screen to set it up, and once they start the route. This system, or this touch screen or TCU, is going to be able to be powered on and powered off. When we had the first meeting, I think it was last year, whoever attended the meeting suggested that many persons may not want this to be on all the time for people to know where they are. They wanted the option when they start their route, they turn it on so passengers could know, okay, I am such and such is here, they're on the way here, and when they finish, whether it's 7, 8 o'clock, they turn it off. Passengers, they don't know where the van is, where their vans are. So this has the option. It was actually custom made for St. Vincent because of the previous meeting that we had with the minibus drivers. That is why these meetings are very important. If you do not put your input now, you will have to take what is given to you. Now, these bus stops are solar powered. Because of our landscape, we decided to go with this method instead of running cable to these digital bus stops. So it's solar powered, so it would be easier to put anywhere. Hopefully in this later on, maybe it will be put more on the interior bus stops, but for at the moment, it would be on the highways. It would be on the highways. Okay, so they are solar powered bus stops that would be installed. Also, the ASCII, which is the company who was contracted to do this from Taiwan, they are also donating a smart bus stand, and this is expected to be installed at Peace Memorial Hall. Now, this smart bus stand, I think, would have 2 50-inch screens where the information of the buses would be displayed, arrival time. You know, sometimes you go in the airport and you see these big screens on the car hanging down from the roof. Now these would be in a bus stand form, so they would be long, and it would also be used for advertising and also giving notices, whether weather notices, flood warning, etc. So these bus stands are not only for bus information. This is for information to the public from the government. If there's a hurricane, any information the government wants to give, or if someone wants to advertise something of their own, they can also advertise it on these screen. But the bus stand at Memorial Hall is a gift from the company to us. Okay? Now, some of the benefits of the project that we're hoping is that the bus app would encourage more passengers to take the bus. Time control, because when you can control your time, okay, I want to go to the bank for this time and I need to get back to pick up my child at this time, you're able to control your time, organize your life better. So the app and the website is going to assist them. If they're not at the bus stop, they can use their cell phone and check the app. If they don't have enough space on the phone for app, they could just use a website, because you know some persons only have small memory, so they use the website. Another benefit is that passengers would be more inclined to wait at the official bus stops, because these digital signs will give them indication of the arrival time. Not everyone might have data or Wi-Fi, so they may prefer to go to the bus stops to get this information. And when they go there, then you have more passengers there waiting for you, and then it will be even better. You won't incline to stop where you shouldn't, where you can get a ticket. More passengers would more go to the bus stop because that is where they're going to get their information. There's also going to be a higher probability of your minibus being filled. Passengers would move to the bus stop when their bus is about to arrive. So this would allow you to get more money. You know, sometimes you go and it's like the place is empty, one person there. But if a passenger know that the van is going to be there, obviously they would rush to the bus stop at this time. A lot of the times the bus stops are empty. People, they just don't know. There's like a guessing game. You have to guess. You might assume, oh, the bus might reach back in this time. But then if the bus is stuck behind a big truck or something, it would be slower. But then the passengers would be able to use the app or the bus stops to see the expected time of arrival. So they just pop up there, right on time, get their bus and get on their way. So this would allow buses to be full and not leaving the bus stops half empty, because passengers would know when they arrive. Now, the contracted company ASCII, they are hoping to offer the bus drivers who sign on to this with a few promotions. Some of the ones that they have a few incentives. Some of the one that they are looking forward to is getting data bundles from either Digicel or Flow for some of the buses that sign on. Also getting gas and diesel vouchers for the buses that sign on, and we are checking with government to see what incentives they are willing to give the bus drivers that sign on to this project. So we are working also with Ministry of Transport to see how we can get some other incentives for the buses who sign on to this project. So that is technically my update, and I hope it was very informative. And I will now pass it over to Mrs. Armstrong to the next section. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. O'Neill. We want to hear from the bus drivers, operators who are here. So we are going to take it under the shed. We're going to come to you. Okay, so we are closer to one another. The bus drivers, owners, operators, curious persons, representatives, or anyone. If you have a question, I would like you to come to the microphone, please, because as you can see, we are recording this session. And we have the project manager, project coordinator, deputy director, we have officers. So anyone, members of staff of ITSD, anyone can answer your question. So go ahead.
Good afternoon to everyone who is here. My question is, how soon will this whole system be implemented? And I hear you mention that there would be 40 bus stops that would be in place. Are there going to be new bus stops, or are they going to use the existing bus stops? And thirdly, the existing bus stops that we have, there's problem with security. So a lot of persons tend not to use the bus stop, especially at the Leeward bus terminal after a certain time, because safety is a concern for passengers and operators.
Dongo, so you want to know the 40 bus stops, if they include any new bus stops. That's one of your questions. And then the other one was, when will the project be implemented? I missed the third one. What's the third question?
Are there going to be improvements to the present bus stops in terms of security?
Okay. So I would ask Mr. David Fu, the project manager, to answer the question about when the project will be implemented. And if, according to our survey, because we did a survey, if any new bus stops were included in that survey. If you can't answer, maybe the police would be able to help us. And then, officer, I'm going to ask you to speak to the security of the bus stops. Okay, so we'll start with Mr. Fu, the project manager.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm David. I'm from Taiwan. I think everyone can understand it. About when we started, actually we start from the next year, because this year, because our consultant just left. They come here on September. Then we has been planned everything. Yeah, even we choose the 40 locations to going to install the this one. This one is the e-paper bus stop side, and this one is we call a TCU, is onboard unit. You can check this seat. You can check it. So because this product now is producing in the time, it's making in Taiwan, and we're going to deliver it to here. So probably, I think before end of this year, I hope, because deliver from Taiwan to here needed 3 months. So probably December or next January, this all of the equipment arrival here, and we will start to install it. So I hope all this year we can finish all of the bus stop sign, and even the TCU we can install on the this mini bus. Yeah. So I think January or February we'll start to install it. Next year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So did I answer your question? Yes. Okay. Yeah. It's very soon, because actually this project we call the e-bus and the CCTV project, and like our host said, past 2 years we has been finished the CCTV part from the 2019 to the 2020. So this year, from the 2020 this year to the 2021, we finish the e-bus part. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I would explain the reason why I call the project manager. I didn't indicate earlier in my introduction that this project is funded by the government of Taiwan and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Okay, so he would have a lot of information about what you ask. Can anybody help us? Did they include any new bus stops in the survey that we did for the 40? Mr. Mayers, could you come and assist us, please? Mr. Mayers from ITSD, let's welcome him.
Yes, good afternoon to everybody. We included some new ones with the help of the traffic department, but it's not many. But we included a few new ones. I can't give you the exact locations, but we have included some new ones.
Yeah, we're going to need a location.
Right? Well, you will get that, but I can't give it to you right now because...
More bus stops. It have more buses on the road every single.
Well, eventually we'd have to do another survey including with the traffic department to see where we could do that.
I think you should include with the survey. You should include some of the van drivers and owners, so they will be able to tell you exactly, because they on the road every day. They will be able to pinpoint where it's possible to get where do more stops.
All right, that is considered.
We'll take that point. We'll take that on board.
Because the thing is, you can't put a bus stop because
Mrs. O'Neill?
you can't just place a bus stop because it have more buses. It has to be the density of the population and different things. So, Sergeant Brown, you want to assist them with some of the response? So you can explain to them how they put the bus stops?
And the security aspect that the Vice President asked about.
The option of putting bus stops is not because today one person stand up at a junction here and you're accustomed to pick them up here means that a bus stop must go there. You understand? You have to calculate, you have to do your studies. You understand? And what you have to encourage your customers to do is to wait for you at the stipulated bus stop or bus shed. Now, I believe, according to the information that I received, there will be some improvement to the present bus sheds that we have along the routes in order for it to accommodate whosoever and whatsoever. So you can put your trust in that there will be some improvement. Some areas, some sheds will be built, I believe, to ensure that persons are safe from the rain and so on, so in order for them to wait for you when you come. The question of security, I believe the Vice President is speaking about lighting and them stuff there. And you have your organization and the two ministries that are responsible to coordinate this. They are the ones responsible for that. Do you understand? As I said before, that the police play a small role in this whole venture here.
if I might interject on the terms of security, we have put cameras in the bus stops, like in the Leeward bus stop and the
Yeah, that is what I thought. That is why I touch on the lights.
Right.
So the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Transport and Works. You see, that is why it is important that you guys organize all yourself, so that when all are going forward, the president and the vice president all could arm them with the relevant information to come to the ministries.
Can I just interject a minute, please?
Wait until I finish. Wait. You could arm them with the relevant information, so that when the vice president and the president and the PRO wants to approach the Ministry of Transport and Works or Finance, you all can have all the information put together, and they can see that you are an organized body and you are ready to solve with some distinction. You understand? But in respect of the lights and so on, Finance and Ministry of Works, security, if you want physical person to be there, you have to take that up with the police.
Security in terms of persons feeling comfortable to remain in the bus stop after certain hours.
Yes, but that is what I said. That is what I said. Yeah, that is what I said. So, if you're talking about physical security, you need security to be there. We have to improve the lighting and so on for us, the physical condition of the bus stops, and then we could talk about the physical security. But seeing that there's one phase of the CCTV that have been installed at these bus stops and so on, it make it easier to be monitored. The thing and so on. Yeah, the lighting. So I will like you to get your guys together and let them arm you with the relevant information that you're supposed to go forward with, and go to the minister or go to the irrelevant ministry and talk to them about these. But you need to organize yourself first as Vintas. Yes, because I want to see it. I want to see it. Yes. Yeah.
Could you come to the microphone to ask a question, Mrs. O'Neill?
Regarding security, do officers patrol like around that area? Like, is there a schedule to see like every half an hour or every hour officers would patrol in that area by the bus stop? Is that a set thing?
24/7 police do patrols.
Okay,
mobile
okay.
off foot.
Okay.
24/7.
All right.
That's why sometimes they run the police out the bus stop, the bus terminal, and say, "Man, I never come inside the bus terminal."
Especially what bus terminal.
You have a contribution, sir? Okay, just step forward.
Good afternoon, everybody. In terms of the bus, right? The bus stops, right? I think that we should get a bus stop between Peacemore, as in coming around the going to the terminal and exiting to come back at Peacemore. I think the e-bus, the e-bus project should look into that, because it have a lot of businesses in town, and you have to catch a van from Tokyo, stop off Peacemore to come back down to maybe the bank of St. Vincent, the credit union. So I think they should look into that, right?
Between from Tokyo and Peacemore.
Yeah.
No, he's talking
about exiting Tokyo. No, but I think it should have a bus stop in the city. Okay, well, let we get to the bus terminal now. I want to know.
In implementing a bus stop. Our town is small. And during peak hours and all that, you have serious congestion.
Okay.
So if you put a bus stop between, it will cause a lot more congestion.
I don't think so. Let me touch on 2 points now, right? Okay, well, that is not for me. That is all your work, because all doing the thing. Well, okay. Well, I think personally it should be. I think personally it should be by flow. Can happen in front of flow. Yeah. No stopping. No stopping for wait and passenger. Drop off and go. Drop off and go. That's my view, right? That's my view. That's my view. Okay, secondly, right, we're talking about enhancing the bus shed at Peacemore, right? What about creating a proper terminal so everybody could wait at the terminal? What about that? You could get more. We going to make more money by going into Tokyo. But the problem is now, let me raise another point, the traffic. We have a major problem with traffic. So I want to know if the e-bus system will make a route so that we could get in and out of town faster.
Yeah, but I can tell you something. That to be antagonistic, a lot of the traffic congestion too comes from a lot of minibus, man.
Nah.
I'm telling you that.
I totally disagree.
A lot of minibus man stop in the road and cause the congestion too. Yeah. If they because remember, you know, everybody wants to make a dollar, right? And I have seen it for myself. It's not that I'm hearing it from anybody. I have seen it. A lot of minibus men cause a lot of congestion because they just stop like that, and they have passengers coming on the way, and they hold up the rest of the traffic. True. So if you do that, like that suggestion I'm making there, it will cause a lot more congestion into that is what I see, and I've been seeing.
That it could be true, and it could not be true. I go agree and I go disagree. Hold on. I ain't done yet. Everybody has cell phone, and if they want to catch a special van, they go and call and ask you, or WhatsApp you, ask you which side you there. You understand? So that part this so with the thing, it all boil back down again. The terminal, it's very necessary. Very, very necessary.
See the whole phone thing? You're not supposed to be going phone when you're driving. So for that, there's a blame name.
Yeah, I know no. Yeah, I know no. But no. But you're talking about exactly, you're talking about. Yeah, but plenty of the van man them have a plug right now. Exactly. Exactly.
But it's still together. If you use the app now, you don't need necessary laptop. Next question, sir, or comment?
Yeah. The safety about the safety for the passengers, right? Everything boil back down to one thing on top my list. Everything, the terminal. Everything boil down to one thing. The terminal. The reason why I stressing this, right, is because people leaving Tokyo war coming up because you ain't got no way for shelter in Tokyo. And then the little piece of shelter with it, everybody cramming up under that. True. If rain come down. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you're enhancing why not enhance the terminal? That makes more sense. And if you're talking about we earning more money, right? I think, and plenty of the busmen them will agree, that the terminal is the best place for we make more money. Because when we come down and we saying we turning back Peacemore, we have to come down empty. Or sometimes we might pick up 5 who decide they're going to walk to Tokyo. So if we get we van full now, everybody moving from that side of the island and that side of the island going to Tokyo to do transaction business whatsoever in the evening or morning. So if we make the terminal like technology, whatever, that's your aspect.
Yeah, I get the point you make.
You understand? Yeah. We need a proper terminal for this e-bus system to work. I'm telling you. We need a proper terminal. Thank you.
Good afternoon again to everyone. Yeah, something that I was saying for years to eliminate all this stress and all this confusion, to make it easier on minibus operators, for it to be easier on the police officers, and I keep saying it. The way how thing is right now, I blame it on the authorities. I saying they want it so. I keep saying for the longest while, let every minibus owner, I ain't saying minibus driver, let every minibus owner register with the Transport Board and with the Minibus Association. Right? So by that, everybody have to be under one umbrella. You ain't begging them. They have to. And if the authorities, because regardless of how you own your money, anybody could buy a bus, get it licensed and insured, get a licensed driver who have the required license to drive it, and a conductor with a conductor's license to operate, because you know it need a licensed driver and a conductor to operate a bus. And anybody, you could tell them where to operate it, how to operate it. Because some guys now they're telling you, you cannot tell me how to operate my bus. This is my bus. So what I saying, an ordinary civilian on the road supposed to could see my van, HU406 Hasib, and go to the Minibus Association or go to traffic department and make a report on me. And me, the owner, if I have somebody employee working with me, I am the one who have to give an account. So what I go do? I go talk to my driver and I go talk to my conductor and say, watch, you see when you all go out on the road, stay on the street and narrow. You see, all this rat race and police have to be behind you. It could be easier on the police. It could be easier on you, the minibus owner. And I keep asking for this years. And I keep saying the authorities is who want this like how the way how it is. And if they decide to come and put that in place, it could be easier. Superintendent John and the rest of the traffic department would not have all the stress and the like slave driver and up and down. I ain't telling nobody no lie. I ain't saying that I am some kind of angel. Sometimes I try to commit myself, but I don't want to. But let me explain why. I go come down the road and I will see 7-8 passengers, no bus stop in there. Right? I decide, boy, I don't want to stop where the bus stop is. Another van can come behind me and they're going to pick them up. Right? Tomorrow, them same people can tell me, I ain't going with you. I tried to stop you yesterday and you passed me street. So it's forcing you who want to do the right thing to try and commit yourself if you want to make $1.
Exactly, so we need a terminal and a quick way
so,
in and out of town.
I know how this whole thing operating. Right? And most of the time now, you're the ones who want to do the right thing. You know, you're the one who does get catch when the police come there.
Yes, I agree with you.
So what I'm saying, if the authorities put things in place and let everybody become under one umbrella, sign up, Transport Board, with the Minibus Association, and by then everybody have to submit under with rules and regulation. That is my 2 cents.
Well, you have to lift your voice very loud, eh?
Something from what the young man said here, right? He was saying about putting more bus stop around Kingston because people walking from point A to point B or whatever to walk all the way. But the way how I see it, with the system that they're going to implement, and the ops, when this thing comes on street, the people them don't have no reason to be walking from here to Grace. You go in your apps and I say, well, look here, let me stick a Big Mac B. You know? So therefore, if Big Mac coming from the ocean shot to the and the post puts well, Big Mac is at the lines. Now I in tongue, I will know what to do and when to position myself and to get to the things. It's an example of just above high school. You notice everybody congregating up there where there is no bus stop now, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the app when you come on screen. I coming from down Tokyo and hustling, had to go to the country. I finding myself up there. I don't have a reason to hustle if I could put in the apps and see wherever van is traveling my direction to see where they are. I could take my time. If let's say you have van, 4 of us have van, and the 4 van is on the way in town, and I look the app and I see, well, okay, you the Brighton, you the Stops, one the New Grounds, one the Georgetown. I will decide at that moment which one I want to take. So I don't have no reason to the hustling up Zion Hill to say, oh, I had to catch the van, the stop. I could decide if I want to catch the one that is in Georgetown. And the other thing, whether or not the way I see it, where I get from it, whether or not the drivers and the owners of minibus are here today, when this thing comes on stream, it's everybody have to get into it. Everybody is something that everybody.
It benefits everyone.
When I now start to go New York, I gone up there with the Caribbean thing, flagging down the bus, look stupid. The bus is stop, and the bus empty. But then somebody will tell you, oh, you have to go by that bus stop and stand up there. So if you know, as the officer St. Vincent and the place, you walk from A to B, 5 minutes. You stand there. If no bus there, you go on the app and see, well, okay, there is a bus in Kings County, now leaving Kings County. I will decide if I want to go by another bus stop and get another bus.
And the app will tell you when the bus will arrive, eh? Exactly. Which is the crux of the matter.
I was just telling you, it is the same thing I see is going to happen here, which is a good thing.
Definitely.
They will avoid people who today hustling, saying, oh, me I want to miss Big Mac. You get it up, you're going to say, okay, if I'm not going to miss him, I ain't going to bother take it.
I'll take the next one that will come at a time when I'll be ready, right? So that is the crux of the matter.
People, it's just like problem. When you get a problem today, you feel the problem never over, but as you go through, you heal, and it just blend right in like nothing.
Excellent. And we have to start somewhere, right?
And this is one of the best things I see, because I've been coming since this winter's come on street. Everybody had their own opinion, and the president keep trying, to get out people and things. But whether or not 2 or 3 people is here today, this is the thing that's going to bring everyone of them. Trust me, that's how I see it. That's my opinion of it.
And we hope your words come to pass.
Well, I will see.
So we see that cooperation is essential, because if I understand correctly, for the taxi association, you have to be certified by the tourism authority. So now we need that kind of arrangement with our minibus operators, and not for the benefit of the government, but for the benefit of you and the commuters. Right? Can you come to the mic? Okay, please.
I've seen something that could probably help. I'm looking at the bus stop across high school. I think that has caused a lot of traffic coming down because the Sunday bus don't have a chance to pull over there properly. Is it possible that we could have railing in that area to keep the passenger when it stay, so the bus will pull aside? Because sometimes when they reach there, and the waiting so long, you realize it's just the bus them couldn't pull over enough to make traffic go clear.
Okay.
So when we start right. Back to the version now.
So we will note that.
Yeah.
So wait.
It's difficult. No, please. It's difficult to get any bus stop fit around Kingston unless you can build over Kingston.
Yeah.
It's rather difficult. I ain't telling a lie. I'm in the business over 20 some years, and I look. There's none to help. You understand? I wish something could do, but the building for traffic. I mean, I see police try. If anyone you have a better idea to ease up, because I remember back in the days the man working in Calico, he had so much chance of going and coming. Now these days kind of fly through this route, that route, just to try. And you remember, minibus walk is on the road, and a lot of people who don't work in the office going home, they'll be holding up the road. And when I mean about is something to get, we get the worst of it. But sometimes you have to consider that a man has to do what he has to do to get his work done before he day out. But I mean he must do things to kill other people. I'm just saying some of the reasons cause these things that for them same thing. Back to the man I was saying with a minibus blocking the road. I agree. I don't know why. Because someone overdo the joke. Because after passing somebody who held up for a long while, he want the person to pass you back. You know? And you want the person to pass you back. It's kind of, you know, I don't know how you work that out.
Because time is money.
Yeah.
Time is money.
Back to
Go ahead.
Samson, you know, another thing between. He mentioned something about security in terminal, right?
Yes. The bus stops.
Well, I like to ask the officers right about now, what they tell the guys when they go out, that timing. If you could either ease up the man, they must straighten them out, because that's the reason why they out more in the road picking up people that in the terminal, because the terminal handles security. If you could help about that, that's, you know, if a man, you must want somebody over to the joke. You would know, you know, but not every time you see a man pull aside, pick up one, they could just, you know. If you could ask the officers to answer for me, please, if you could help with that.
Officer, you want to address that issue? I think he's talking about using your discretion, if I understood him correctly.
I understand what he's saying. But you see, because he's not presently operating, wait, give me the opportunity to talk to man. Because he's not presently operating a minibus, he would not know of the arrangement that was made by the superintendent in charge traffic. Because of the same problem that they highlighted with the lighting and so on. The good superintendent made an arrangement with the omnibus. You see what? If I have a problem inside it at nights with all the passengers, I give all the permission to come across by Ace and by the other places so to pick up all the passengers. Without the police harassing us.
But we just still
it's not.
No, police.
I don't know this.
Them guys, an identified officer will come there after 6 p.m. on evenings and harass you. I will do something about it.
Well, okay. No, I know the for a fact.
I understand.
Thank you,
Mr. Brown, I would not tell you who. I would videotape it and I will show you.
Thank you very much.
And make sure show the position.
Exactly. No, but for me, I just see it because all across my age, I don't work late night because I just start all in the morning. So I don't go late at night. And in the evening, in the evening, I just see them guys all across by Ace, by Gibson and thing, and the officers them don't harass them.
You see what I'm saying now?
From what time?
You see what I'm saying now? So wait.
I see why I agree with you totally. Mr. Brown.
You get some policeman just come there and telling you and willfully harass you.
Let's say Mr. John Knuckles.
Point of order. If you place your omnibus in a position where you can cause unnecessary obstruction to the flow of traffic, the police have to talk to you.
I agree. I
totally agree.
Can I say something now?
Yes, Mr. John, go ahead.
The allowance being made for portions outside of East and couriers across there, but at Gibson's, outside of Gibson's where you have the Leeward bus terminal, I will be there at times after 7, after 8, and see police officers stop and give persons ticket right across there who are not humbugging the free flow of traffic. Pull aside.
Black Swan ISS
and that is the Leeward bus terminal. I have a few other questions to ask as well.
Go ahead.
How do you get persons to wait in the bus terminal?
You mean the passengers? How do we get the passengers to wait in the bus terminal?
Presently, there's a big problem with persons walking sometimes as far as signing to get books. Terminal as far as signing.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Terminal, right? And without dealing with these issues, you're going to have problems with the e-bus. In terms of the bus terminal, a bus terminal don't always have to have a shed or shelter. You can have the bus stops, the sign where
where bus can stop and let off passengers. Like for example by Black Cat Bar across this. Right? At Water Authority. Those are areas that bus stop frequently to pick up and let off passengers.
Let me just interject with Water Authority. We get right away to pick up people by the opening, but they were trying to bring out the point all the time. There is a problem now. A lot of private vehicles just park there and block it up. So you cannot pull off the now and pick up passengers.
That's at Water Authority. Well, officers who are here, you'll make a note of that.
But a lot of private vehicles now just park up there, so you can't pull off there.
And it brings me back to another point. The stops that we have can only accommodate maybe for 3-4 buses. The bus stops that we have, most of them would shed, only accommodate for a certain amount of vehicles to stop. And other buses that attempt to stop are stopped in the ticket. Because they say hindering the free flow of traffic. When the passengers are there, they want to get into the bus, they want to go home. What can be done to improve that situation?
So let me ask a question of my own. You said it can only accommodate about 3 or 4 buses. So if we have bus 5, 6, and 7 waiting to go into the bus stop to let out their passengers, and a police come, they will give bus 5, 6, and 7 a ticket?
I have experienced that. Yeah. I don't know if that's...
Officers? So I will hand that over to the officers to consider.
According to which officer stop here?
So we are noting all of these things, huh?
Okay, and another thing, how do you get the passengers or the operators, to be exact, to come on board to feel comfortable of installing the device in his vehicle? Because I'm of the opinion that persons figure, well, the tracking device can work against me. It's gonna record me how I operate, and persons would be hesitant to come on board. Are the team gonna go ahead implementing this system without getting the majority of operators on board? Because the operators now are privately owned operators. Government don't have a system to say with bus transportation in St. Vincent in terms of providing a few school buses here and there, but the majority of the service are provided by privately owned operators. Are you going to go ahead without them even if they are hesitant to come on board, or are you going to try to sensitize and educate them more to try to encourage them?
Well, you're answering your question as you ask it, right? Because this is one such event that we're going to have, and we're going to have many more of these where we sensitize you. We give you the information and you make a choice, and we hope that you will make the choice to come on board. But we are prepared to go ahead with whoever will come on board with the project, because when the others see the benefits that those who come on board are getting, we expect that you will come on board as well, even if you were hesitant at the start. And in terms of the device, remember, it's just for the passengers to be able to track the bus. And as my colleague, Mrs. O'Neill, said, you can turn it on and off at your will.
When you start working in the night, you could turn it off. Yeah. When you start in the morning, you put it back on. On weekends, you're not working, you turn it on.
You will control that.
So we use for the benefit of the police, it's for the passengers.
Yes.
Don't have Wi-Fi access, like the bus stops that you're going to set up. Are there Wi-Fi is going to be set up in these areas as well for who want to use, who want to get online?
Well, Mrs. O'Neill said in the beginning they will be offering data for a certain period of time, isn't that so? But after that...
Hold on. Finish your statement and after that.
So you see if you get proper terminal and Wi-Fi is on there.
For the person standing waiting in the bus.
There would be, how do you cater for persons who would not who would not be able to use the system?
You mean use the app? We know. The only thing I say is that they'll have to go to the bus stops to see when the bus will come. But at least you have an option.
With the e-bus system comes improvements to passengers.
And minibus drivers, yes.
But in order for the minibus to improve their standard as well, concessions in different areas has to be considered.
That can be discussed.
For example, duty-free concessions on parks, on vehicles, have been interested on for so long. I know that the government have concessions for, I think, is 22 seaters and above.
Yes. No, yes, you are correct.
But what about the 18 seaters who provide a vital service?
This is what he says comes in. If they put the legislation in place, well, the entire with the Minibus Association and come together.
Wait, let him speak, Monty.
I was coming to that also.
Okay.
Right, because our system in St. Vincent is a hustle system.
Right now it is, yes. Right now it is.
Right? The drivers operating the hustling. For the passengers, they hustle against one another. And it needs proper structure in place from the administration point of view, from thinkers' point of view, from every stakeholder involved.
Exactly.
And when we have that in place, it would eliminate a lot of issues, challenges.
So this project is attempting to address some of those concerns and issues.
You know what I mean? These things highlighted and look at. Because the administration have a lot to play. Because as Hassan said, right? Anybody can come on the road, buy a vehicle, put it in the gate, and operate. It goes to minibus, it goes to taxis, it goes to whatever. And without structure,
you can't tell him no for an event.
That is why the entire Minibus Association has to team up. If that don't happen,
five sailorman by 5 van last.
That's why I use the point and
them sailorman
the point and say
to go and drive the van them. So it will continue that way. Yeah, the van them will continue that and then making people like me and you do that.
Unless they do that for all the years.
I agree because it's like they have
my mom was one of the oldest minibus operators. My father talking about that for years until now.
It shows on all the van man.
Yes, they go say all of them van man. That is true. I think this project could be very good, but as a van owner told me, it's like how you say, putting a nice shiny band-aid over sore foot. You need to clean up the sore foot, and then it will be able to heal. Yes. So they.
Some of these things need to be addressed before you.
Yes. We had spoken to the Ministry of Transport already, and they said they're already working on legislation to address some of these issues.
So the project highlights issues, we will try to address them as best we can.
So about the terminal, I've only included insurance in
we
that.
made note of that. Knuckles is your name? Yeah. We made note of that.
Jappy S.
Knuckles? Right, we made a note of that. He was very strong on that. We made a note. The terminal needs attention.
You included insurance into that
Pardon?
Insurance.
In regards to what?
The van insurance, insurance.
But that is not government.
No, I say if you could get that to come on board along when you're having all the.
You mean the insurance provider?
For instance, the government will tell you, it have a few times minibus without insurance. Yeah, I get damaged by one already without insurance. So I can tell you this, And I have saying, why don't insurance give out an animal sticker or something? White code, white blue. If you put on blue for January, a different color go down for all the months. So whenever after the city going to put a bus insurance out or in or whatever the case may be.
A quick
look. You can't cure, but it will help. Yeah. And the other thing is that well, this is my wire idea. If you could have a way running that I don't say a young girl load us try for first time and get breed. They have them playing wrong. You understand what I'm saying? And they get caught. But that's the first thing that actually get you, they get caught and get pregnant.
So most drivers don't get accident the first time they go. They started something, and they bought a little more. And our police are there to recognize only people who does be doing a lot of shipping. So I was asked how come they do have a network with insurance to say, alright, not to take with this person license per se, but if you have a network with insurance, you could put up something like this person has been very reckless. You didn't make a state, and the insurance could call you and said, well, the driver have been such and such thing. I think we're gonna suspend him for driving. You have before you do to come in and whatever the case is. And I think we get better drivers.
Exactly.
Oh, you mean like you're suggesting have a bad driver's list and from the police and distribute it to the insurance?
Because I mean they see they on the road because it's one person who overdo.
Yeah, when they know when they get an accident.
Police to go and put something is not there. You know, but
I get you. So the insurance will not charge across the board; it will charge according to
the person. Yeah. Because
the risk.
The risk, yeah.
Yes.
And if because what happens is, a man crash your bus, who drive for you? None come jump in another man bus and gone.
Exactly.
If the insurance suspend him, majority bus insurance taking bus for free. Who taking bus?
Yeah, true.
Right, so
it's
easy to deal with. Very easy.
I want to pick up the point that you just bring there, right? About the very important point.
Yeah.
What you actually said is that the insurance could have a system where the police could call in and report to the insurance company people who are violating the regulation and so on. However, you bring another very important point that you don't want the police to call and make false reports on people.
Exactly.
We have something for that because we have the camera, CCTV, that could actually
help.
The police already have that system where they could actually monitor. Right? We could actually see the traffic and monitor to see who is making those violations. So those two go hand in hand.
So the CCTV cameras is for good, and it could also be used against officers?
No. It could only record what happened. It could only record what happened, right?
We've had a really wonderful and fruitful discussion. Do we have any other contributions at this time? The two van drivers or owners who came in, anything from you guys? I hope you're on board. Okay. He looks like a deep thinker. So as we said, this is the beginning stages of the project. You will be hearing from us again, and we hope we can have more persons present when next we engage you. But we really have your best interest at heart.
We need to hear feedback from the officer to share his thoughts and opinion about what is going on.
Well, remember our station Sergeant Brown addressed but is it Sergeant Jones? Would you care to make any contribution, sir, to this discussion? We invite you at this time. And while he comes, we have some refreshments, so don't leave, please. Certainly.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Right, I think the discussion, as mentioned, was very it was very healthy in the sense of a lot of points came out that we didn't really anticipate, which is very good. But what I must say is that we must be focused on the reason why this meeting was held. And as was mentioned earlier, the meeting was held so that you could serve your customers or the public better. Understand me? And you need not to miss that point. It's to enhance your service, right? So, for instance, if you're at the bus terminal, and I know somebody mentioned before about security at the terminal, I do expect persons to leave the terminal when they already know that their bus is coming at this time, to leave the terminal and to come outside by Gibson because they want to beat maybe 3 or 4 other passengers, right? I expect them to stay at the terminal because when they leave the terminal and the bus stop at Gibson, then you would have violated the traffic offense, and then the police might give you a ticket. Understand? So the system is there to make it easier for everybody. Understand? So nobody need to move away from the bus stop to go and stand up somewhere else where there's no bus stop to have the bus driver committing themselves. And as was mentioned before, it makes it easy in the sense that you could operate your bus and your bus could be filled with passengers because there might be 18 persons waiting there because they know that Abdul is coming at this time. Understand? So they're waiting. Understand? So you don't have to pick up one here and then go inside hoping that you pick up the others inside. There might just be 18 persons waiting inside because they already know that at this time the bus would be present. Understand? So you guys just need to be focused at the end of the day. It's all about doing the right thing. And you understand, I know somebody mentioned earlier about the insurance and the suspension of driver's license and stuff like that. The police is not here to target any one person in particular. Understand? Once there's any case of any reckless or dangerous driving on the road by any driver, the Commissioner of Police has the authority to suspend one driver's license. Understand? Without the insurance being involved or anything like that. Understand? So that is something that we have a zero tolerance approach when it comes to. So we're not here to target or to look at this guy and say, boy, you know what? He been driving good all the time, but tomorrow he chooses to drive recklessly. No. If you've been driving good all the time, continue driving good. Understand? Because once it amounts to dangerous or reckless driving, more than likely, then you're in for big trouble. Understand? So just comply.
Thank you.
You must come to the microphone now, sir. Yes. So if there are no other comments, we would end with Mr. Johns, and we'll just wrap up after. Remember, we have the refreshments. So just come.
Yes, good afternoon again. We would like to thank the staff, all the members, all the persons, the officers, the members of Vintus. On behalf of Vintus, we would like to thank everyone for coming out. And it was a fruitful discussion, and the fact that we can participate and share our views and you can listen and then take whatever we put out and try to better. And I like to say this to the operators: they have to remember that when they come out to work, it's not just about making $1, it's about providing an efficient service to the general public.
Yes, if we're giving him a clap, let's give him a wonderful clap now. We don't want Salush to come back alive and ask, I need a clap for that. We give him a round of applause. So for those persons who might have joined the meeting late, we are letting you know that you can view the video on the government's website, www.gov.vc, and it would be on the Ministry of Transport's website also. All right? So we will be in contact with you through your organization, Vintus. And we really, really appreciate the fact that you took the time off to be here with us this afternoon. Mr. Lonnie Robinson and Mr. Frankie Haynes for recording this afternoon's meeting. We thank everyone who made a contribution, and we hope to see you soon. Have a good afternoon.